this week's feast?
Transforming furikake rice from Food Wars. This Food Wars dish is loaded with flavor, so let's start and get some of that flavor by frying chicken wings in sesame oil for 10 to 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. Remove the chicken wings and keep the residue in the pan and set it aside. In a pot, add water and soup stock and bring to a boil. Add the chicken to the broth and lower the heat to medium-low. Back in our chicken pan, add ginger, sugar, and soy sauce and stir with a wooden spoon. Then add in sake to deglaze the bottom of the pan. Pour everything from the pan into your simmering chicken broth and cook for 20 minutes. Take your chicken out of the broth and remove any extra fat off the top with a sieve. To prepare our gelatin, add it to water and let it bloom for 3 to 5 minutes before stirring it together. Combine this gelatin mixture with your broth and mix well. Pour these into a thin layer in a pan or tray and bring it to the fridge to solidify over several hours. Once it's fully gelatinized, remove it from the tray and cut it up into small squares. Prepare some rice, and while that's being made, cook your eggs in the Japanese style of iri tamago, finely scrambled eggs. To do this, keep the heat moderately low and stir constantly with a load of chopsticks, occasionally removing it from the heat so it does not cook too quickly. Prepare some thinly sliced green onions using only the greenest part, and let's combine. Add your iri tamago on top of a bed of rice and sprinkle your gelatinous cubes on top. And let the Food Wars magic happen. Just like in the show, your cubes will melt over the eggs, coating them and the rice for maximum flavor. Once that's done, sprinkle your green onions on top and you're pretty much finished. As always, our episodes are brought to you by our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/feastofiction, and we call out one lucky patron each episode. So this week's feast is brought to you by...
Who's that patron? It's Renami!
Voila! You've made the transforming furikake rice from Food Wars. This is a delicious and simple recipe that's filling, tasty, and all sorts of fun to make as well. Serve nice and hot and try to keep those clothes on while you eat it, feasters. All right, Ash, you ready?
Ready.
Let's do this.
More like...
Ah! Wow, I'm glad you guys at home couldn't see that because it was very... NSFW! Fried rice, my favorite dish of all time, has eggs, rice, and onions in it. And this is great. It's exactly what that is, but it has that like added on flavor.
The Japanese version.
The Japanese version, yeah. Not just that, the Food Wars version. The Shokugeki no Soma version.
Ooh,
So good. If you guys watch this show, you should. They like put painstaking effort to making sure all the recipes are accurate and that they come from something real, and they do all the food history, so it is pretty cool. I also really like that like tang of the melted stuff, the gelatinous cubes that you occasionally get little hits of. Honestly, if there's rice in a meal, I will eat it.
You're down.
Until the age of 18, I had rice every single day for a meal, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, because my mom would make it at home. So I got addicted to it in like a very, I think, unhealthy way.
You didn't get tired of it?
No, it's delicious. Yo, comment in the comments if you need rice at every single meal.
It's
or,
rice. It doesn't even have a flavor.
That's the point. You add flavors on top of it, and the rice is like this beautiful bed that the rest of the food sits on, and it's like, wow, I'm so glad I got this mattress. It's so comfortable.
Should I leave you alone with your white rice?
Any kind of rice. Brown rice, white rice, quinoa even, couscous. Hey, you know the nickname of, you know, like how people would mod out their Hondas and Toyotas?
What were yours
with like huge spoilers?
Yeah, they call them rice burners.
We call them rice rockets.
Y'all did?
Yeah, in Seattle.
Yeah, they're called rice burners in Texas.
You would hear them like tearing down the street, and I would always be like, they're gonna go get some boba right now.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
how I
on-
can tell I'm getting old is when I hear them nowadays. I'm like, you freaking kids.
You kids, you're
outta
polluting the
here.
neighborhood. The noise is too much.
The rice burners never bothered me before.
But they did all of a sudden now.
Yeah, now I'm like, you a-holes, get your mufflers fixed.
They did get them fixed. They got them fixed to sound like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were like getting them taken off or something.
I think they're getting to take, well, I
Or
think
like an intake, something.
you're legally required to have a muffler on your car, and if you don't, you can get a ticket for it. So I believe they have modified mufflers, the ones that go woo woo. You know what I mean?
No, I've never heard anyone go woo woo.
There's a video you need to watch in that case.
Tell me about the whistles.
The whistles got woo!
No, they just hurt my ears, and it's not woo-woo.
Well, the idea is that, you know, it's a powerful car, but really it's just like a crappy Toyota, Honda, whatever, like, you know, base model that they added on.
I would love to talk to somebody who actually owns a rice burner and try to understand, like, the mentality behind it.
Well, I guess everyone does it in their own hobbies, right? Some people will, like, go to the tens to dress up their, you know, they want to become a musician, so they buy all the top-of-the-line gear, even if they don't need it. Bad luck, Ashley.
Oh, it's bad luck? Wait a minute. If you're done eating, you have to take your chopsticks out? Otherwise it's bad luck?
Otherwise it looks like incense that you put at a gravestone, and you usually do put the incense in rice. That's where it comes from, yeah.
Is
it's
this
actually
a Chinese thing?
It's Japanese. I believe Koreans have the same stigma as well.
Oh, it's Asian all
Yeah,
around.
it's just Asian. And again, they're putting it in a bed of uncooked rice so the incense can stick upwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for having my back on that.
Yeah, it's for your ancestors. We would always used to light incense on my grandpa's grave in China.
Y'all did.
Yeah, and then you would also do other really silly things like burn paper money and gifts, because the idea was if you burned it there, it would go to them in heaven.
Yeah, when I go to nail salons, a lot of the time they have bowls of like oranges.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like
Yeah, it's fruit for
and
it's like
offerings.
Yeah. Why not just like, you know, not burn it? Why does it need to get burnt to go up? The incense makes sense, right? There's an aroma, but I remember burning some of this stuff at his grave and being like, oh, this smells awful. Like, this shouldn't be burned. And you'll see people bringing all sorts of crazy stuff to those graves.
Well, probably just
I like the idea. I think it's
the
really
tradition.
sweet. Yeah, it's the tradition. You know, in that case, I would bring like a Lambo there,
And
freaking
burn it?
set that thing on fire. Grandpa's
Yeah.
rolling around in style now.
all right. If we have to ever visit Jimmy's gravesite, which I hope we don't, we'll have to burn a Lambo, y'all.
Anyway, these are some Asian traditions. Burn incense at a grave, and you also, you know, make your car look ridiculous. My
Yeah.
prior point, some people take their hobbies to the extreme, and I would say like someone that, again, like buys tons of gear if they're a musician, or let's say they're just about to get into working out, they like buy
Yeah.
a full weight set, they go all the way out just to
Okay.
like show other people
You
they're
know
doing
what?
it.
You breaking it down like that, I can understand it.
Yeah.
I can understand more about choosing to build a rice burner for sure.
But the problem is that they're so loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, so driving on by me, I still don't like that. But
Yeah. What if
if
you
you're
like
doing them at home and you're
Yeah.
having a fun hobby and you're passing time,
Keeping it
doing
safe.
things you like, that's great. And who are we?
to judge you?
Yeah, who are
Unless
we
you
to
blow
do
out some poor innocent kid's eardrums because you're just
Or
going
my eardrums.
on the way out, you know?
Yeah.
Or yours, yeah, very definitely.
that? So then I might have a change of heart. But for now, keep up the nice hobbies.
Yeah, be passionate about the things you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Just not at the expense of other people's hearing. There was a point in my life where I had a lip ring and a mohawk and everything.
I cannot believe that part of his life, by the way. When I
So-
see pictures of that, I had to see pictures of that, actually, to believe that. Because when
We'll
you
we'll
told me
pop it
that,
on screen somewhere.
I was like, there ain't no way this cutesy little baby-faced boy was having a lip ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
I was rebelling, as maybe the rice burner and rice rocket people are as well. That's their form of self-expression because they still have to go home to mom and dad at the end of every day.
We really enjoyed making this episode for you guys.
With this nice in-depth discussion about Asian culture. You know what? Instead of making fun of rice burners and rice rockets, what you should do is watch Fast and the Furious 2 Tokyo Drift to see some quality car build and quality drift racing in action.
Is there any way we could tie that back to like the reason why we did this episode?
Yeah, Tokyo Drift is in Japan, so is Shokugeki no Sama is an anime.
There we go.
What about Fast and Furious 3? It's the second one, bro!
Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift.
Man. Make sure you watch Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, one of the greatest car movies ever made of all time. There you'll see some real pimped out cars that look dope. They're not just like your average rice rocket, whatever you want to call it. These are serious racing aficionados taking them around. Man, the race scenes in this movie, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh! We're gonna have a movie viewing night. If you're a patron of the show, we actually did a movie viewing. We all watched Spirited Away together. So if you guys join our Discord by going to patreon.com/feastofiction, you too can be a part of that community viewing experience. Maybe we will watch Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
It is a ridiculous movie in every sense of the word.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us, I think.
That wraps it up.
That's wrapping this episode up.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Pretty little bow. I think we covered it.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoyed this delicious, amazing recipe. Okay, despite all that chatter at the end that maybe has nothing to do with this
Has
recipe.
everything to do with it.
This is an amazing recipe, and those cubes of gelatin deliciousness melt
Oozing
in
over.
the show, in the bowl. So you guys gotta do it at home,
Yep.
basically.
And if you have any other recipes you want to see us do on the show, make sure you leave a comment below. Let us know. Make sure you follow us on all these social medias and join our Patreon at patreon.com/feastofiction. Become a part of the larger community at Whole. They actually decide a lot of the recipes we made, including the one that we did today.
Thank
How
you,
cool is that?
guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Patreons. Patrons. What is it?
Patrons.
Patrons. Thank you. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.